Hi everyone, it's Eve again, and today I invited Tim to join me for discussion about credentials.
Hi Eve, thanks for having me. My name is Tim Gilger with HID Global, based out of Dallas, Texas.
And the reason why I invited Tim is because I jumped into this project recently where it was so many confusions about which credential protocols we need to choose. So situation was that prerequisites for the project was that we need to reuse existing credentials. And we got requirement that the protocol is MIFARE. In reality, when the readers were installed, it was MIFARE CSN, and it didn't support the existing credential. So going back and forward, we also understood that it can be a third situation when the cards have some custom programming on it. So it's a little bit of a headache, and I decided to ask Team, how can we do it better next time? What should we avoid when we use a system not from scratch, when we actually can choose the cards or corresponding to existing credentials, but we need to reuse what they have already?
Sure, it's a good question. Is a common problem in our industry in general, Eve. When people are looking at integrating two different access control systems into one, upgrading their readers, upgrading their cards, or especially if companies' buildings merge into one, you have multiple different types of credentials that exist. There's a lot of technologies that's out there. Since contactless cards have been in place since the early 90s, you run into a lot of different types of technologies out there. So it's always good to make sure you understand exactly not only what the technology inside the card or credential is, but if and how it's programmed. If it is a high frequency smart card like MIFARE that you mentioned, all smart cards like that have a serial number that's unencrypted on the card, which can be used for access control ID numbers, but it's not necessarily best practice. You can then write secure access control data to an encrypted portion of the middle on the card, and every reader manufacturer in the world has their own level of encryption that they use. So getting that information up front and testing that with your reader manufacturer is critical.
So pretty much what we should have is actually request credentials to be sent to us so we can see what's happening there. And you pointed out very important question and point that CSN, even though it's read by someone, so many readers, it's so insecure that we shouldn't actually go that direction.
Right. I personally would not ever recommend that as a best practice. Now, there are scenarios where a serial number has to be used for one application or another, but the end goal would be to have everything for physical access, logical access, point of sale, whatever you're using that smart card for, to have everything using encrypted data for the relationship between the card and the reader itself.
Good points. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. I think important is that we just remember to always test and make sure that we understand what it is actually on the card. And it can be very much different from the new reader you want to implement. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And don't forget to like the video.
Thanks,
Bye.
Steve. Bye-bye.